Hello. Okay, so a lot of people have been asking me about my trip and how it went, and I decided that I was too lazy to write it down and tell everyone separately, so I'm just going to do a video. And I'm going to do it in one shoot because, like we mentioned earlier, I'm very lazy. I don't really know what I'm going to talk about. I have no notes. But yeah, so I'll just get into it. I'm weirdly nervous. I don't really know why. Anyway, so I started out in South Vietnam in Ho Chi Minh City, visiting a family friend named Beacon and his lovely girlfriend Amy, and that was awesome. Really nice to be welcomed into someone's home to start off my travels as opposed to just having to figure it all out on my own. It's a very busy city, and where they live is kind of in like the middle of nowhere basically in the city, so there are not any foreigners there and it's all Vietnamese people, which was really cool, but a little bit hard to acclimate to very quickly. I was only there for a few days at the beginning though, maybe 4 or 5, and we did some sightseeing and went and got some delicious food different places, and all the food is really cheap except for the pizza place, and the pizza place is really expensive, and it's called Pizza 4Ps if you ever go. Really good though. It's in Hanoi and in Ho Chi Minh City. So we were there for a bit, and from there I just went off by myself and visited this town called Nha Trang. Vung Tau, which is in the south east of Vietnam, and it's on the ocean. And that was a really cool experience, but very hard because it was my first solo travel, and it was pretty lonely for me. So I wasn't really sure how that was gonna go. And when I got there, it kind of was fine, but also kind of not. Like, the first hostel I went to, it was me and 2 other people, this older couple, and they were really awesome, from the Netherlands, and like very, very cool. It seems like they travel a lot. They had 3 kids. I don't remember their names, but it's really cool because you get to meet all different kinds of people, and honestly, once I'm talking, I feel like I could talk for like an hour, but nobody has time for that, so try and keep it short. Anyway, so basically that was really awesome, but also really hard because then in the second hostel, there was just like no one that was gonna hang out with me, and so there was this one girl, and I was like, oh hey, you and your friend want to hang out later? And she was like, yeah, it's fine, and then it ended up kind of like falling through, so I was just on my own all day, which was fun, but also just kind of hard, and that taught me like that the priority number 1 of traveling is to find friends or be comfortable on your own, and I think that's kind of life also, but you know, that's for each person to decide. So from Vung Tau I went back to Ho Chi Minh City, and then from there I went to Nha Trang and went with Beacon and Amy, but ended up kind of separating from them and staying on my own at a hostel. And that was where I met my first good friends named James and, oh my gosh, what was that? James and Daniel. And they're really cool. James is from Australia and Daniel is from the Netherlands also. And they are really cool people. It was nice. They're about my age. James is a little bit older. Daniel, I think, is my age. I don't really remember. And that was a really cool experience, just to have people to be close to you and go on adventures with and all that kind of stuff. That was my first time going and seeing a waterfall in Asia, so that was really cool. That town was really hot, but it was my first like positive experience with traveling, and I think that came out of kind of being free to just like explore and see what I want. And I ended up like meeting them and then a bunch of other people, and it was over New Year, and the New Year down there is called Tet in Vietnam and maybe elsewhere, but it's Tet, and so that was really cool too. We got to see some celebrations on the beach, and really, really fun time. There was some dancing and stuff. So I was there for about 5 days, and then from there I went back to Ho Chi Minh City for a day, and then flew from there to Bali. And for future reference, this is not a good way to travel. You should just go in like a line instead of going like back and forth and up and down. But that's what I did. So I flew into Bali and went to Canggu. I had a tour booked, so I got picked up at the airport, which was really easy, but the tour ended up being more expensive than it was worth by kind of a lot. So just like kind of look into prices and figure out what you need if you're ever planning on traveling. Because a lot of the time the tours are way more expensive than what you actually need to pay, and a lot of the stuff you can do on your own, or just like hire a guide for the day kind of thing, or not even a guide, just like a driver, and it's good enough. But anyway, Canggu is on the west coast of Bali, and that was pretty much where I spent most of my time there. It was really awesome. I was staying in a hostel. On the first day I met this guy named Isaac, and we became fast friends and went to all the clubs and went dancing and stuff, hung out on the beach a lot, saw the sunsets. That was really cool. He is from Wales and is 19 now. I think he was 18 when I met him. Or he's 20 now and was 19. I don't really know. Sorry, Isaac. But yeah, Bali was really amazing, and basically you just like go and hang out on the beach all day and then hang out on the beach all night. So yeah, can't complain about Bali. Bali was really cool, and I went and saw monkeys and some waterfalls there too. And Bali, I accidentally deleted all my pictures from Bali, which kind of sucked. I would like those to remember it, but that's okay. And then from Bali, I went to a place called Gili Trawangan, and that was really like paradise, basically. Super small island, pretty bad internet, like very bad internet, basically none. But it was really fun to be there, and the ocean was like crystal blue, and I don't really remember it because I was very sick with what's called Bali belly, which is just like a stomach bug. But that was a really cool place, and I would definitely love to go back at some point. It's super beautiful. Very small island, and then there are a few other. There's Gili Air and Gili, another one. I don't remember, but those are the islands there. From Bali, I flew to Hanoi. I was still sick with the stomach bug, so that was all kind of hard. I got into Hanoi and was finally recovering, and I actually met up with James and Daniel again in Hanoi. They had been traveling up the coast of Vietnam, and so it was a good timing in that regard. And we got these delicious kebabs, but not like kebabs that you put a stick through. A kebab in other countries is more of like a falafel wrap kind of thing, but those were really good. One of my favorite foods actually of traveling. And then Hanoi, I just spent like a few days there. We stayed in this really nice place called the Signature Inn. We went to Sapa. Daniel ended up leaving, so James and I went to Sapa, the two of us, and I celebrated my birthday there. Sapa is a mountain range which is to the west of Hanoi, and it's super beautiful, right on the border of China, and like an amazing place. I highly recommend going for anyone who has time or money or whatever it takes to go. But Sapa was beautiful, and I spent the 28th of February, which is my birthday, on Phan Xipon, which is the tallest mountain in Vietnam, and that was amazing. I can't really say enough about that. There's a huge temple on top, and it's a big tourist attraction, but really, really cool place. And being in Sapa was just very like calm. We actually stayed in a little tiny village outside of town, about 4.5 kilometers, which is like 2.7-ish miles. That's another thing about traveling, is that you have to convert all of the stuff over because the US is stupid. Anyway, so yeah, I was there for a few days, and from Sapa I went back to Hanoi, and then Hanoi was awesome. Met more cool people there. Met a girl named Anna from Spain, and we hung out and went to Black Panther, which was really cool, and you can go to the movies for 2 people for like $3 US, maybe 4, and that was awesome. Yeah. Also, I met someone really cool in Bali named Lena from Germany, who I forgot to mention, and she's awesome too. And we ended up spending some time on the beach just hanging out, and it's really awesome, just like the cool people you meet. I can't mention them all, there are so many. That's one of the best things about traveling, is you meet people who are, well, I met people who are like-minded to me and just like ready to embrace the world and see what's going on and get out there, and that was really positive. So yeah, that was one of the best parts for me. And then from Hanoi I went to Laos and flew from Hanoi to Luang Prabang, which is north center-ish of Laos. Kind of hard to describe because Laos is a weird looking country, but anyway, that's where I went, and that was my favorite place overall of all of traveling. Super chill on a river, not a lot going on in the town, but really, really beautiful, very laid back, not too many people, which was awesome, but it's still like a big city, so it has, not city even, it's just like a big town, I guess. But it's a really nice place to go, and my favorite part there was this little bakery that I loved, and then also they had really, really cheap mangoes that they already cut for you, and I love mangoes, so that was awesome too. Yeah, so Luang Prabang, I met some more cool people, and ended up traveling with them. It was a group of 5 other people. I won't go through and mention them all, but they're all awesome. If you watch this, miss you, hope you guys are doing well. And we traveled all the way down to Vong Vien, which is basically a big party town in Laos. which was a lot of fun, and there are these amazing mountains there. I posted it on my Instagram and stuff, so that is really, really beautiful there. Spent some time there, and then went down to Vientiane, where I met up with my friend's family who lives there, and that was really cool to kind of be welcomed into home again after all the traveling and not have to sleep in a dormitory room with like 8 other people and have my own bed and all that, just like normal stuff. It was really cool. And I spent a few days there and then went back to Ho Chi Minh City before heading home. And all in all, that was like a brief summary of my trip. Obviously can't really sum it all up because it was, 6 weeks of traveling and brand new experiences and stuff, and it's hard to recall everything or even share everything, but I don't know, it was just a really amazing experience, and it helped me learn that like people are people everywhere, and everyone's just like trying to be a good person. And in the US we kind of don't really think about that a lot. We're like, the US is awesome and then all the other countries need our help, and even the other like first world countries are not. I don't know, we just have a very limited mindset, I think, and so traveling was helpful to just expand that and help me figure out a direction in life, I guess, which is what I wanted. And yeah, I mean, I'm sure there are more things I could say, and if you're curious, ask me. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed watching this vlog type thing, and hopefully it turns out okay, because I don't want to do it again. Hooray!